quiet down here. I was beginning to wonder if anybody was around.
Doris and I just watched Billy Joe's TV show.
Hey, I didn't know that Billy Joe's new format was having that much of an effect on people.
Well, it wasn't that. Your sister was on.
Paige was on TV?
Apparently she was in the audience when the subject of George St. John came up, and she just got up and started talking.
Was she drunk, Grandma?
She was stone cold sober.
What was she doing at that TV station in the first place?
Oh, I'll get it. Marshall residence.
Doris, put Justin on.
Is this Miss Linden?
Well, of course it is. Would you please just put Justin on?
Of course. Miss Linden.
Thanks, Doris. Allison, what's up?
Listen, I'm at your office, and I think you better come down here.
Well, Allison, I didn't plan on coming into the office today.
Then why don't you change your plans?
What's going on, Allison?
Justin, do you want to make Marshall Oil a great company, or do you want to see it go down the drain?
What's the problem?
I just think you ought to get down here.
I'll be there as soon as I can. Looks like I'm going into the office anyhow today.
Miss Linden sure does get around.
Right, how's Mom?
It's hard to say.
You were in there a long time.
Well, I stopped to call John and Vivian. They're very worried about her.
Did you see Dad?
Yeah, he's in there with her now.
I hope he's saying the right things.
He will, Mark. Don't worry, he will.
Judith, Mother, come to the light, please. Judith, I'm
You have to try to listen.
We're here, Judith.
We can take care of you.
Dad,
I'm asking you, Judith, to fight one more time.
come, Judith, come.
Mark, Brett, Lacey.
Judith, come to the light.
They love you.
Judith,
I love you.
Judith,
I need you. I need you, Judith. Don't give up on me. Please come back to me, Judith. Can you hear me? I love you.
Texas, the new generation. The first part of Texas is brought to you by Dry Formula Secret. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
If you heard me, Judith. Judith, I don't want you to give up. You can't do that. No, don't turn away, Judith. Judith, you have too much to live for. I know that you don't think that now, but you do. Judith, this is the time of Thanksgiving. We've got a lot to be thankful for. 3 children, Judith, who are healthy, productive members of society. You nurtured them, Judith. You're a part of their past. You're a part of their future. They need you. They love you, Judith. Oh, Judith. We have a lot of good memories as a family. We can get those times back. Good times. Good friends, Judith.
George.
Don't think about him. He's gone. He's not important, Judith. Judith, you've got to live. You've got to want to live. Tell me that that's what you want, Judith. Please. Judith. Don't give up on us.
Grant,
Well, Mrs. Wheeler, how we doing, huh? Well, looks like you're doing a lot better. We sure want you to keep up that fight now. I'd like both of you to meet Dr. Ehrlich. He's a neurologist that I've called in to take a look at Mrs. Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler, if you would excuse us for a few minutes, we won't be very long.
Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
May I talk to you for a minute?
Sure.
Why have you brought in a neurologist?
Well, it's standard in cases like this where there's been an injury to the spinal cord.
Why? What's the problem?
Well, Mr. Wheeler, that's what we're here to determine.
Judith, I have to go for a few minutes. Don't forget what I told you. Don't forget how much you're loved. We all love you.
Okay.
Sorry?
So, what did you want to talk about, Billy Joe?
Paige, I saw quite a change in you today.
I'm really sorry I got up and started talking like that.
No, don't apologize for that, Paige. I think you did a lot of good for some of the people in my audience.
Well, you've tried to get me on that show before, you remember?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I fought you too hard. Maybe if I'd gone along with you, I would have realized how sick and confused George was.
Paige, I don't think anybody could have seen through George. I mean, look at us. We work with him every day over there at the studio, and we couldn't see that he had any problems.
Yeah, but I was his friend. Billy Joe, I should have seen
That's
that.
right, Paige. You were his friend, not a psychiatrist. You gotta stop blaming yourself for everything.
Why can't I do that?
I think it's probably the same reason why you blame yourself for everything else.
Yeah, I guess I've been guilty of that, too.
We all have from time to time. You know something? I don't think we have that much control over the rest of the world, so how can we be responsible for everything that happens?
Well, when you put it that way, it makes me feel a little self-centered. Guess I have been.
Now there you go again.
Oh. I want to get through this, Billy Joe. I really do.
You took the first step, Paige. Talking on my show, you got a lot of stuff off your chest.
Well, thanks for the opportunity.
Hey, I should be the one thanking you. You helped me stave off all those questions about the Wheelers.
Oh, no. You were handling that very well by yourself. Didn't back down from what you thought was right. That was good.
And neither did you. You're on your way back, Paige.
I hope so, Billy Joe. I really hope so.
If there's anything I can do to help Paige, anything at all.
What did you mean about Alice and Doris?
Oh, just that she seems to be keeping her finger on the pulse of everything that goes on around here.
Well, I guess she's just trying to help Justin.
I suppose. But I thought she'd be awful busy at World Oil, what with all the Wheelers are going through right now.
Well, it is a little odd that she would be at Marshall Oil. Well, I guess Justin will find out what's going on.
Dad? Grandma, where's my dad?
Well, he just went upstairs to change his clothes. He has to go into the office.
Well, I have to talk to him.
Hold your horses there, young man. Why are you so all fired up about
I
it?
had this dream, and I have to tell Dad about it now.
What about this dream?
Oh, Dad, it's about my mom.
You didn't tell me anything about this morning. Is this something you just remembered?
Well, yeah, I had it today. At school.
No, wait a minute. You're not sleeping at school, are you, Gregory?
Oh, no, I wasn't sleeping. It was kind of like a daydream. Like my mom was there. And she told me she's all right.
Gregory, we all want to believe more than anything that Ashley is all right and that she's going to come back to us, safe and sound. But you have to be very careful that you're not confusing the dreams that you have while you're sleeping with, well, your hopes and your prayers about your mama. Do you know what I mean?
But, Dad, it was so real.
Oh, I know. It can look so very real, so real that you can reach right out and touch it. I think it just might be, Gregory, that it's something you want so badly, so deep down that you're making it come into your dream. Am I making myself clear or not?
Dad, I know what you're saying, but this is different. My mom is coming home. I'm sure of it.
We're all praying that you're right. I've got to go to the office now, son. But I want to talk to you more about this when I get home, okay? All right, and I'm sure that Doris and Grandma find something to keep you occupied while I'm gone, okay? Doris, listen, I plan on being home for dinner, but I don't know what Allison has in store for me. Listen, I'll call if I can't make it. Goodbye.
Grandma, you believe about my dream, don't you?
I believe in your faith, Gregory.
That's wrong. You said I made this dream happen. I didn't. It just happened. I know my mom's coming home.
There are few things as strong as the faith of a child.
I think there's something more than faith that's keeping that boy going.
Do you think there is something to those dreams?
I think there's something to the bond between him and his mother. Maybe a little distance can't keep them apart.
You know, what do you say I go up there and see what I can find out about Judith?
Oh, Billy Joe, I'd really appreciate that.
I think it's a good idea.
Thank you. I'll just wait here, all right?
Billy Joe!
Ruby!
Oh.
I was just on my way up there to look for you.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm sorry I wasn't here sooner, hon, but I had my show I had to do.
That's okay, I understand. Hi, Paige.
Hi, Ruby. How are you?
Oh, I heard about how you got into Mr. Wheeler's office and practically saved his life.
Oh, well, I'm not sure I did much good, but how is Judith?
Well, her condition is the same. It's still critical. And Mr. Wheeler just went in to talk to her.
I'm just so sorry this had to happen.
Why are you sorry? It wasn't your fault.
Hey, let's take a look at that rock you got in your finger here. Oh, look, hold still here. Let me take a look. Woo! Will you look at that? Do you have trouble holding your hand up now or what, huh?
Well, I know it's big and everything, but it's what Mark wanted for me.
Ruby, I'm just so happy for you. I really am.
Dr. Holmes.
Yes, really, Ruby, congratulations. Thank you, Paige. I just wish the whole thing had happened under better circumstances.
Well, now that I know about Judith, I think I better get out to the ranch. Ruby, can I ask a favor of you?
Sure.
If it isn't too much trouble, could you just keep me posted on Judith's condition?
Of course, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to see you.
Billy Joe, what can I say? Been such a dear friend.
And I'm gonna go on being one, too, even if that means being a pain in the neck. Okay?
I know. It'll be all right.
Take care of yourself.
Oh, thanks, hon.
We'll talk real soon.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Ruby.
Bye, Paige.
So, little sister, you got a minute to talk to me or what?
Well, you're lucky. I've got even more than a minute.
All right. Well, was I right or was I right?
About what?
Well, didn't I say that Mark Wheeler would come to his senses about you and come around sooner or later?
You had a lot more confidence than I did.
Well, you just gotta have a little more faith in yourself, that's all.
Oh, Billy Joe, I had faith in myself. It was Mark I was worried about.
Well, it's finally happened, huh?
I know. I can't believe it. Little Ruby Wright from Waco, Texas is Mrs. Mark Wheeler.
How's Mom? Well, there's 2 doctors in there with her now.
Did you talk with her?
Yeah?
What did you tell her, Dad?
I told her how much she's loved.
Dr.
How much?
Hovis, 466. Dr.
I want her
Hovis,
to live.
466.
Does she want to live?
I don't know, Mark.
Well, didn't she respond at all?
Brett, she's very weak. It's very difficult for her to talk. I don't know. I may have gotten through to her. I don't know. I hope so.
What did the doctor say?
Well, they're guarded. Dr. Williams brought in a neurologist. It's too early to tell.
Dad, I know that you helped her just talking to her.
I wish I could have done more.
You did everything you could.
Oh, Brett, she's so fragile.
Dad, don't do this to yourself.
Brett is right, Dad. What's happened isn't your fault. If Mom makes it, it's because of you. Because you gave her the will to live.
Mark, the only thing we can do right now is pray. Pray that she gets through this.
Well, that's all, Mrs. Wheeler. You can rest now.
Where's my husband?
He'll be back very shortly. Now, I want you to get some rest. Yeah? What do you think?
Well, it's hard to say anything without taking some more tests. But right now, it doesn't look good.
Yes, this is Allison Linden. Well, it is very important that I talk to him, please. Fine. Tell Mr. Blanchard to call me at Marshall Oil. Yes, thank you. Well, Justin, you finally got here.
What's so important, Allison?
I wanted to get your signature on these papers before I sent them out.
What happened to that stack of papers on my desk?
I took care of most of it.
What did you do that for?
Justin, Marshall Oil is about to fade into the sunset unless you do something about it.
What are you talking about, Allison? Marshall Oil's doing just fine.
Just fine isn't good enough for an oil business, and you know that. You'll be saying you're doing just fine, and one day you'll turn around and wonder what happened to your clients.
What are you doing here? I thought you were over minding the store with Mark Wheeler.
I thought you needed help, and besides. Yes, Karen. Great, send him on in. It's Hawker and Boots.
What are Hawker and Boots doing here?
Well, I put in word that you wanted to see them.
Why would I want to see Hawker? Hawker! Boots!
It's good to see you again.
Yeah. Same here.
Why don't you have a seat, gentlemen?
Yeah, why don't you have a seat?
Well, don't mind if we do. So, what kind of turkey do you want to talk, Justin?
Well, to be perfectly honest with
Why don't I pour you gentlemen a drink before we get down to business?
you. Yeah, why don't you do that?
Is bourbon all right with you boys?
No ice.
Fine.
Now, not that we're not delighted to see you, Miss Linden, but we kind of thought you were over in the Wheeler camp.
Well, not anymore. I'm working for Justin now.
Anyway, New York was so exciting, Billy Joe. And the day that we got married, Mark surprised me and he rented one of those horse-drawn carriage things. You know, we went all around Central Park. It was so romantic.
Oh, it must have been wonderful.
It was. Oh, Brett, Mark, hi. I'm sorry I didn't come up with the coffee. I just ran into Billy Joe.
Hi, Brett, Mark, I'm so sorry to hear about your mama. Is there any news?
Well, my dad was in with her, and the doctors are with her now, so he's waiting to hear the results.
My dad says she's looking a little better.
Well, I'll be praying for her.
Thank you, Billy Joe.
Oh, I'd like to congratulate you as your new brother-in-law. You know, I come along with the package here.
Well, thanks, Billy Joe. We're hoping we could tell you under a little happier circumstances.
Oh, I understand, sure.
Now, don't worry about it. As soon as Mom's better, we're going to throw a big bash.
Oh. Yeah, we'll run at the top of the World Club, huh? That reminds me, Brett, I saw Ricky over at the studio. He's been trying to get a hold of you, and he told me to tell you that he's going to be here later on.
Do you know what time?
I don't think he knows himself yet. They were running pretty late as it was. I'll tell you what, Brett, I was going to get some coffee. How about you give me a hand, huh?
Yeah, I want to get some for Dad anyway.
All ready?
Did you have another fight with your dad?
No. Matter of fact, I think if anybody helped my mom, it was him. I shouldn't have taken off on him like I did.
You were under a lot of pressure.
So was everybody else. I didn't need to go around ranting and raving.
Well, different people react different ways to pressure. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that everybody's together now. And you know what?
What?
I got a feeling it's all going to work out just fine.
Dr. Mahoney, 3-2. Dr. Mahoney, 3-2.
Mr. Wheeler, can I have a talk with you?
How's my wife?
There's a room down the hallway.
No. I want to hear right now. Tell me, doctor, is there anything wrong?
I'm afraid there have been some complications.
Stay tuned for the next part of Texas. And now the next part of Texas.
What do you mean, complications? Doctor, is my wife going to pull through or isn't she?
Now, wait. We have every reason in the world to believe that your wife's going to live.
Well, then what's the problem?
Well, as you very well know, the bullet wound was located near the base of the spinal cord, and there was a certain amount of swelling after surgery. That's why I called in Dr. Ehrlich.
You said that was standard procedure.
Well, swelling is not uncommon after surgery. It's just that we wanted to double check to make sure that everything was going all right.
Is everything all right?
We're planning to run a series of extensive tests on your wife just as soon as she's a little bit stronger. However, it does appear to us, at least from the preliminary testing and from the x-rays, that there's some damage to the lumbosacral area of her spine.
What does that mean?
That means that she may not be able to have the use of her legs.
For how long?
Could be permanent.
Doctor, are you telling me that my wife may be paralyzed for life?
Early indications would lead to that conclusion, yes.
Have you told her?
No, we never reveal that kind of information until the patient is more fully recovered.
I want to tell her. I don't want her to hear it from anyone else.
All right. If that's what you wish. Mr. Wheeler, I'm very, very sorry. But I do want you to remember that considering the extent of the injury that was sustained by your wife, she's a very fortunate woman to even be alive.
Yeah. I'm very grateful for that.
Let me remind you, too, that a number of people have gone through things like this, and still go on to lead normal and productive lives. But your wife is going to need all the support that she can get from her family.
Thank you, darling. Well, I'd say you pulled quite a coup, Justin, persuading Miss Allison here over to your side.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, gentlemen, I couldn't have been more surprised myself.
Well, considering the circumstances with my sister lost and everything, the least I could do was help Justin.
Family ought to stick together. It makes for better business.
And better business is what we're here for, isn't it?
Well, that's what me and Boots here are hoping. So what's on your mind, son?
Well,
gentlemen,
Justin feels that it's a good opportunity for Marshall Oil to jump on some of those less secure leases of World Oil.
Well, that company certainly is in an awkward position as of today. Yes, sir, Bob. It's been all over the papers and the TV about the Wheeler family. Now, that kind of publicity don't give the leaseholders much confidence.
Gentlemen, I hate to disappoint you. I think Allison here has overestimated my design on those leases. I am not going to take advantage of Grant Wheeler, not at this time.
Justin, it's not taking advantage, it's just business.
Not in my book.
Justin, those leases are going to be up for grabs. Now, some company is going to grab them, and they're going to be very strong because of that. So why not have Marshall Oil instead of some other company?
Justin, I don't know what's going on between you and Miss Allison here, but I tell you this. The little lady's talking a whole lot of sense. Now, Grant Wheeler's got himself between a rock and a hard place. Now, folks ain't going to take too kindly to all that gossip about his wife and that dude who got himself killed. Especially when Wheeler wasn't considered much more than an outsider in these parts anyway. Now, Justin, I admire you're not wanting to profit by a man's misfortune, but Miss Allison is right. Now, folks felt pretty shaky about throwing their leases to a Yankee. They're going to think that their instincts were right in the first place. Justin, it's been a while since Marshall Oil's seen any major growth. We know you've been grieving over the loss of your wife, and you've got everybody's deepest sympathy. But sympathy doesn't go real far where business is concerned. Now, I know this for a fact. Your board would purely love to see some new growth in the company. Now, you got yourself a silver platter opportunity for it right here.
Gentlemen, I keep thinking of Grant Wheeler and how he came to help us find Ashley.
Well, obviously, this is a new idea that's been sprung on you. Sit on it for a spell and give us a call when you make up your mind.
Well, gentlemen, I don't think that'll be necessary. I think I've already made up my mind. Thanks for coming by. I hate to have wasted your time like this.
Oh, don't worry about us. Just don't you go wasting your own time. Ma'am.
You certainly managed to make a fool out of me.
Maybe I wouldn't have, Allison, if you told me you were pulling this in the first place.
And if you'd have been here in the first place, I would have told you.
Since when are you working for me?
Since now.
Why?
Because I want to help you, Justin. That's why I called Hawker and Boots over here.
Now, you should have checked with me first.
And let you sit on that like you're doing with the rest of the company.
You seem to think you know a lot about the oil business.
I learned a lot at World Oil.
Is that why you're defecting to this side?
You don't want me?
Well, I didn't say that. It's just that I think you're changing your loyalties here awfully quick.
Well, I could say the same about you. I didn't know you were such close friends with the Wheelers.
I'm not. It's just that I'm not going to go swooping down on them like a bunch of vultures.
Well, Justin, I think you can just kiss this company goodbye.
You may know a lot about the oil business, Allison, but you got a lot to learn about ethics.
Ethics? Yes, we all know what ethical people the Wheelers are. You can just pick up the morning paper and see how ethical the Wheelers are.
That has nothing to do with you and me.
Mark Wheeler marrying Ruby Wright has a lot to do with me.
Mark? Mark married Ruby?
They eloped. In fact, they were in New York when this whole thing happened to Mark's parents.
Well, you were never that close to Mark anyway, were you?
I thought we were, Justin. You remember the night of the storm, the night that Ashley was lost? Well, I was with Mark Wheeler that night. And we spent the night together, and he made love to me, Justin, and I thought that he loved me. And then he turned around and he ran off with someone else.
I'm sorry, Allison. I know that must have hurt you very much.
That doesn't matter. The reason why I told you this is because I want you to know what sort of man is president of World Oil. If Mark Wheeler betrayed me, he's going to do it to you in a second, and we cannot let this opportunity go by.
Maybe you're right.
Of course I'm right. And Hawker and Boots, they think so, too.
They think I pulled quite a coup getting you to work here.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I do. It's just, what's your job?
How about vice president? We'd be a team, Justin, a real team.
Now, what's the description? That's 5 foot, 8 inches, right? Darkish hair, right? 30-ish. Now, could you tell if she was pregnant or not? But you sure she said her name was Mrs. Justin Marshall?
You're home.
Yeah, I'm home.
Miss Paige, can I get you something?
Oh, not now. Thanks, Doris.
Then I better get started with dinner. Miss Paige, I want to tell you, I saw you on TV today. And, well, I thought it took a great deal of courage to do what you did.
Thank you, Doris. Did you see the show, too, Grandma?
I sure did.
I hope I didn't embarrass you too much.
Embarrass me? Oh, Paige Marshall, I was so proud of you.
You were?
Yeah, getting up there in front of all those people, standing up to them like that, that wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't.
You know, we were worried about you the other day when you just took off from here. And then when you didn't come home for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, Grandma, I should have called. I'm sorry.
Now, don't be sorry. I'm just glad you're safe and sound.
Well, I hope I didn't ruin your Thanksgiving. All of you worried about me.
We suspected you were all right. Or TJ would have called.
TJ?
Yes, he came out here looking for you. He was determined to find you. So we figured that you were with him for all that time. Where did he find you?
I went back to George's studio, Grandma.
What were you doing there?
Trying to say goodbye.
I see.
That's where TJ found me. He gave me a little push in the right direction.
Good.
He told me that I had a lot to live for. There were people in my life who really cared about me.
We really do, Paige.
I know you do, Grandma. I know that. And I've known it all along, but it's just real hard to believe when you don't care about yourself.
Oh, but Paige, you do care about yourself now, don't you?
Well, I'm trying. And I'm going to keep on trying.
I know you're trying, Paige. And we're all here to help you.
Oh, Grandma, you always are.
Oh.
You're always here. Thank you.
Dad?
Dad, any news on Mom? She's gonna pull through. The doctors are confident of that.
Oh, thank God.
That's great. Well, what's wrong? I mean, you don't look very happy.
There's something wrong, isn't there?
There might be.
What?
Mark, there's the possibility that your mother may never walk again.
What happened?
The bullet. It damaged her spine.
Does Mom know?
No. No. I'll tell her at the appropriate time.
I don't think she's gonna be able to handle this.
It's gonna tear her apart.
Wait a minute, wait. I think we're really underestimating Judith here. We didn't even think she was going to live, and she pulled through that. She'll get through this, too. It's going to be tough, but it won't make it any easier if she knows we're all standing around saying she won't be able to handle it.
Look, maybe we should go to talk to her. She shouldn't be alone right now.
No, Mark, no. She needs all the rest she can get. I was going to go to the chapel. So.
Dad, can we go with you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that.
Hi, Gregory. How are you? Pretty good. I'm glad you're back home. We missed you at Thanksgiving.
I'm glad to be home. Hey, why don't you come sit next to me? We haven't talked in a while.
I guess we haven't. You're feeling better, aren't you?
Now, how did you know that?
I don't know. You just look like you're feeling better.
Well, you are very perceptive, Gregory.
Did something happen?
What do you mean?
To make you feel better.
Yeah. Lots of things.
Like what?
Oh, mistakes. Things like that.
Mistakes made you feel better?
Well, learning from them did. But I guess you wouldn't, know about that just yet.
Well, maybe it's like when I was trying to learn how to dive. I kept doing belly flops. And then when I finally did my first dive, so it wouldn't hurt, made me feel better. Is that what you mean?
You know, Gregory, I think you hit that right on the head.
Well, I remember when I did my first dive, too. Boy, it felt good.
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it?
So where have you been, anyway?
Well, I spent most of my time with TJ.
I haven't seen Uncle TJ in a long time. He's not mad at me, is he?
Oh, no, Gregory, he's just very busy right now. He asks about you all the time, though. You know, he cares about you very much.
I like him a lot, too.
Hey, what's that smile for? What are you smiling about? Huh? You're in a pretty good mood today.
Yeah, I am.
Well, that usually has a reason, doesn't it?
I had another dream about my mom.
Oh, I see.
She talked to me in this one. And now I know that she's all right.
Gregory, I would give anything in the world to make that dream come true.
I know it's gonna come true, Aunt Paige. I know my mom's coming home.
When did you tell Mark Wheeler you were leaving World Oil?
Well, I haven't really told him yet. His mother's in bad condition in the hospital. I just didn't think it was the right time.
Don't you think you should tell him soon, Allison?
Well, I was planning on going to World Oil this afternoon and picking up some of my things. So I'd probably talk to him then.
Allison, you're not leaving because of me, because I put you in a difficult position with them, right?
No, Justin. I told you why I can't work there. And besides, I always knew I'd end up here.
I'm glad that you are. It's very obvious that we need you here. And I'm really impressed how you handled Hawker and Boots.
I told you I learned a lot at World Oil.
I think you learned a lot about Cy Blanchard, too, from what I heard. When I overheard your conversation with his secretary. What was that all about?
Oh, Mr. Blanchard and I are old friends.
Oh, you are?
He has some important leases that World Oil would like to get a hold of, and I thought that we could talk to him first.
Boy, you move fast.
She who hesitates is lost.
I haven't seen anybody move this fast, Allison, since
Ashley. Look, Justin, I know that if Ashley were here, you wouldn't need my help. But she isn't. And you need someone to fill her shoes, and that somebody is me. And besides, I think we'll make a good team.
Maybe we will. Yeah, Karen. Who? Yeah, well, yeah, send him right in.
Who is it?
Some police detective. I wonder what he wants.
Mr. Marshall?
Yeah.
I'm Detective Anderson.
What can I do for you?
Well, we may have some information about your wife.
Stay tuned. Texas will be right back.
Have you found her? Have you found Ashley?
Maybe we should discuss this in private.
No, that's all right. This is my wife's sister. What do you know about my wife?
Well, we got a call in from Galveston.
Galveston?
And a Mrs. Marshall was buying clothes in the store there.
Are you sure it's Mrs. Justin Marshall?
Well, now, we checked the credit card numbers, and they were yours, and the woman pretty well fits the description of your wife.
What's the name of the store in Galveston?
That was Dalton's in the Bayview Shopping Center.
Thank you very much.
Justin, where are you going?
I'm going to Galveston.
Now, we already have some people on it, Mr. Marshall.
I've got to go. I've got to find my wife.
This part of Texas was brought to you by Downy, the fabric softener that makes your clothes smell April fresh as it softens them.
Hello, Nashville. For your news, weather, and sports, depend on Channel 4, Nashville's award-winning news station. Join Dan Miller, Lonnie Lardner, Bill Hall, and Charlie McAlexander weeknights on the scene at 6 and 10. Channel 4 News. Experience you can trust.
See.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas, the new generation.
Sure, the